American Warrior Radio right here on WMEL. We are visited again by Dr. Ken Vehec, who is the foremost visionary and implementer of MyHealthevet, online access to your VA records and all kinds of other good stuff, communicating with your doctors. We've got a caller on the line. Robert, can you hear me? Hey, Robert. Glad you called in. You have a question on MyHealthevet, is that right? You have a question regarding the computer program MyHealthevet that we're discussing? Good question.
Well, that is an excellent question. Now, not sure why the change of computers would have affected your account status, but it shouldn't have. But that being said, now that it is, let's deal with the problem. There's a couple of things that we can do. You can give me a call on Monday or Tuesday, or if you'll give your number to the gentleman here in the booth, I'll call you right after the show, and we'll do this while you're right on the line with the computer, and we'll see what we can do to get around it. Okay? Yeah.
Because you mentioned, Doc, that it shouldn't be when you change from computer. If you're on a computer, say at a library, obviously you want to make sure that when you leave that computer station, you don't leave any information hanging that somebody that may come along later and sit down and have access. But when you're on your personal computer and you go from your desktop to your laptop or something like that, so long as you've got your legitimate username and passcode, you should be granted access.
Correct.
So somewhere along the line, maybe Robert did well the okay, well the good thing is that it's giving you the message you previously registered, so that means you did get up to speed at one point. Robert, when you engaged the MyHealthevet, did you ever do that in-person authentication that Dr. Vehec was talking about? Okay, so you went to the VA. Explain that process. Did it work pretty well? Okay. So just like you were talking about, Glenn, the Montana comes back up.
Yeah, amazing. But you picked the right day, and we'll let them take your phone number here and let Dr. Vehec get to you right after the show.
Vince, the engineer, will take your name and number offline there, Robert, and Dr. Ken will get back with you.
Okay, and also for any other veteran that's having a similar problem, if you can't get it settled at the local level, or you're not having success getting through to the release of information or anywhere else, there's a national helpline that you can call directly as the veteran.
Oh, this is good info.
So you might want to get a pen, a piece of paper, and write this number down. It's 301 734 0641.
0641, and that's a national
helpline. That is the National MyHealthevet helpline, and that is for password problems or situations like what Robert's experiencing, where the people who are at the local level don't understand exactly why it happened. We're not tech gurus. We can't explain it. We can do a few things to navigate around it, but these are the people that be able to do the resetting and get that all done.
Fantastic. And Robert, I applaud you for getting involved in MyHealthevet and working it, and also doing the in-person authentication. And as I mentioned, Vince will get your number offline, and we'll get you squared away. For all you other folks that may have questions about this program, whether it's a privacy issue or what kind of access you can have, give us a shout. 631-1300, 321-631-1300, right here on American Warrior Radio at WMEL. I want to launch right into the next thing, Glenn, which is...
Next thing we're going to talk about, or actually Dr. Vehec's going to talk about for us as the expert, it is EBenefits, which is the natural progression up from MyHealthevet, talking about putting VA more accessible to you, the veteran, through the internet and various portals and information sources out there for you. So give us a little overview of what EBenefits is. I know that's a common thing and growing.
Yes, it is. It is the newer part that is being built off of the building block of MyHealthevet. And if you remember in the first segment, I stressed that this was where it begins. Once you've been authenticated in this, you're authenticated throughout the entire VA system. This authentication allows you to use a special link to sign up for EBenefits. EBenefits, unlike the MyHealthevet, which is the healthy side, deals with the hospitals and your providers and things like that, Benefits deals with the other side of the VA house, which is, Glenn, where your specialty is.
Exactly.
This is where the veterans will be able to monitor their claims as they move through the system. They'll be able to do other things that they would go to a VSO for, such as get a certificate of eligibility ordered, the DD-214s. All that side of the house is what EBenefits is for. And it provides a more instant electronic access if, say, they can't get to go see someone like you for a week or so. They can have the information they need, pull it off, and then go to you and say, okay, what do I do with this? And help me out.
Yeah, right. And I'm excited about that part of it, being able for them to be able to access information that we're definitely going to need in the claims process somewhere along the way.
Yeah, but you mentioned the MyHealthevet is really a foundational piece to get into EBenefits. Explain that a little bit.
Well, as I said before, the authentication part that we do, once you've been personally authenticated through the VA system, if you did not use MyHealthevet to be authenticated and you wanted just to get EBenefits, in order to become authenticated in EBenefits alone, you have to go to either a mini service center for the VA or to a regional office to be authenticated by those areas. Now, we have a mini service center in Orlando, and our regional office is in Tampa.
Yeah, kind of a drive.
Kind of a drive from here in Brevard, where you could go over to Vieira, the clinic over there, and be authenticated through MyHealthevet and have the same ability to access, and even a better ability to access EBenefits because you're already authenticated in MyHealthevet.
And if you have somebody like me who does not use the VA healthcare system because I'm retired from the military and I have a good healthcare option there for me already, would you still be able to go and enroll in MyHealthevet so that you could then access EBenefits and save that trip to Orlando or Tampa?
You still have the ability to go ahead and enroll. It's your choice. Whether you choose to use the VA system or use your own insurance, that's your choice. But as a veteran, you still are guaranteed the access and the ability to use these sites. And I encourage you to use them. And as I said before with MyHealthevet, you can set this account up for yourself and for your family as well. The firewall, the extra authentication is only for the veterans. But you can track your family's health on this as well, and everybody can have their own individual account, shot records, health records, blood pressures, sugar levels, whatever you need. You can monitor it all there.
Just like a central place that the family can house their medical records or important things about health.
Exactly.
But you mentioned every veteran, really, every veteran should get into MyHealthevet.
That's what it's designed for.
Okay, whether you're going to take it to the next level and do the in-person authentication, which obviously is, it's the natural progression, and then getting into EBenefits, at a minimum, get involved with MyHealthevet.
Yeah, at a minimum, you want to get involved at the basic level for MyHealthevet, just for the simple reason you have the ability to print out a wallet card on the MyHealthevet site, which lists your basic survival information. So if you're ever in an accident,
blood type,
your blood type, any kind of conditions that you have, any allergic reactions, the things that the paramedics look for when they go through your wallet should you not be able to speak for yourself. So every veteran should have one of these in their pocket.
Good point, because when I was looking at the site the other day, because like I said, you've helped me, I'm fully engaged with all this, that came up rather quickly.
Oh yeah.
Very easily. Just updating my personal information gives you an option to add that information and print out this wallet card.
Yes.
So, and you can do that for your other family members as well.
Oh, yes, you can.
Pretty interesting stuff. Now, so we do the myhealth.va.gov, get registered, go in, get personally authenticated, and then we can take it to the next step with this EBenefits. Describe that process.
Now, the EBenefits, what you'll have to do is, after you've been authenticated with MyHealthevet, you log on to EBenefits through the EBenefits site. and as you go to log in and sign in, it'll ask you to register.
Let me stop you there. Is it as simple as going to EBenefits, Googling EBenefits?
EBenefits.gov.
Okay.
Right? EBenefits.gov. It'll pop up. It'll say, do you want to log in? Do you want to register? You know, the typical homepage. You register for the account. You click on that button, and then there'll be a number of links that'll pop up. Are you a MyHealthevet registered user? Is the top link. Underneath that, they've got some other links that you can click onto if they apply to you. Clicking on that first link, being that you're authenticated, it automatically takes you to what's called the DS login number, where you register and you're given a DS login number for EBenefits, and that number will give you an account in EBenefits. At that point in time, within 5 minutes, you're up and running in the secure EBenefits site, to where you can go ahead and if you have a claim filed, see where it's at in the system. Or if you're looking for other services, if you're looking for vocational rehabilitation, if you're looking for any of the other areas of the booklet that we get, our Veterans Benefit booklet, it's there. And you can take a look at that. Now there's a couple of things that Glenn, you and I were talking about earlier, that they have a link on there that you can go ahead and file a claim, which it's there, but we still recommend that you use a VSO.
Yeah, and that, you know, we can't overemphasize that. We emphasize it all the time, and I take this opportunity to emphasize it again. You've got like a 4 times better chance of getting the benefit earned through your service to our country if you're represented by a person who knows the VA system. And my office has 3 nationally accredited service officers who definitely know the system. They know how it works, how it doesn't work. We can read your rating decisions and decipher whether or not it looks like that you've gotten a fair shake, and so forth and so on, help you with appeals. But the key point is, if you do this online, and I see people every week, and they get to a spot where they're stuck, and sometimes it takes 3 times the work to get them unstuck than it would have if we'd have helped you from the start. So please come see us and let us help you do the claims, because it's going to get done right, and you're going to maximize your opportunity to get those benefits you've earned.
Yeah. I have a question though. How many phone calls and walk-ins do you field where folks are just looking to check status on their claim? They've got a pending issue before the VA, the benefit side of the house, folks. This is an issue regarding compensation or pension. How many of those would you see?
Oh, bunches would be the answer to that. And great minds work in the same area. I was thinking about that too when he's talking about you can find the status of your claim. I'm hoping that when you look at the status of your claim, it'll be in some kind of a format and language that you can understand what it means.
Yeah. Well, it is actually. Having looked at some claims that were flowing through the system, it tells you what area it's in. If it's in development, if it's been sent to a decision review officer, if it's pending a decision, or if a decision's been made. It lists all those for you in plain English.
I think we'll still get a lot of phone calls then, even as a result of that, because they're going to say, well, what does that mean? How long is it going to take now that it's in development, or how long is it going to take now that it's at the rating team and so forth? But that's all right. That's part of what we're there for. But it's still good that the people will be able to get that information for themselves. I'm excited about that.
Well, one of the things that I used to advise people on when I was at the vet centers, when I was doing counseling, readjustment counseling there, is that once you've filed your claim, it's its own entity. It takes on a life of its own. Once you've done everything you possibly can, the best thing to do is just let it run its course, and because there's nothing you're going to be able to do to move it any faster. You know, calling and doing all that, it may help alleviate some stress that you feel, or some anxiousness or anxiety, but it's really not going to have an effect on the claim. So just, send it off and just let it go, do what it has to do, respond to any forms that the VA sends you through your VSO, because they're written in code.
Yeah.
You're a funny guy.
And the good thing is, at least if you see that it's there, whether it be in development or ready to be rated or whatever the status of that claim is, the great news for you is they got it, they didn't lose it, and they're working on it.
But to start the process, go see a credentialed service officer to get your claim going, and then, like the doc said, just let it run its course. If there's additional information or something that needs to be input to help with the claim, obviously you want to go through your service officer as well.
Yeah, you want to come see us and let us get that transmitted for you so it can be considered in the claim. I will throw one little caveat out there in the if and or but world of VA benefits, and that's that if you continually bring us information and a lot of it's duplicative, what you're doing is slowing down the adjudication of your claim. You know, we can help you evaluate the information you bring to us and see if it has some significant relevance to the claim or claims that you have pending. It's not always great to send things all the time that, you know, every time I have an appointment with a doctor at the VA, I'm going to send it to them, because they're going to pull that off electronically when they're adjudicating your claim anyway. So,
For sure.
You know, bottom line, come see us and let us help you make those kind of decisions and get it to the VA if that's the proper thing to do.
But with EBenefits, it's really easy. I think it's the upper left, foremost left tab. You click on it, and it displays the menu where you can check on the claim status. You can check on if you've got an appellate issue. It'll give you information on that. It does other things, though, also. It'll even track your payment history if you're receiving compensation. If you wondered when you got a raise or if you were going to get this COLA, if it impacts you, which, by the way, what is it?
3.6%. That's firm. It's been done. You're gonna, and what will confuse you is that you're going to be told that it's effective 1 December. The VA, like all other government agencies, pays you a month in arrears, so you're not going to see it in your paycheck until 1 January.
First of the month, following the month you became eligible. Just that's like a mantra.
That applies to your military retired pay too, if you're one of those guys.
Yeah. And Social Security, sure. But that's kind of a neat little tool because, like you mentioned, the angst or the anxiety. Gee, I haven't heard from the VA. What's the status of my claim? Boom, you can go through this process and actually have that information right at your keyboard, right at your laptop.
Right there, it shows up on your screen.
What else can they do? You mentioned the filing claim, which we've talked that down.
Yeah.
We don't really encourage that, but you can order DD-214s, personnel files, things like that.
What's important, I would consider nowadays, especially with the housing market the way it is you can order a certificate of eligibility
For your
for
home
home
loan?
loan.
Yeah, let me put a little more information to that. If you get the certificate of eligibility from the VA Regional Loan Processing Center, that's good at any lending institution that you go to, any bank, any mortgage broker, whoever it may be. Whereas there are some of those people who can access the VA and get you a certificate of eligibility. You're in bank XY and you get them to do that for you, and that certificate of eligibility is only good at bank XY. So if you go next door to bank Z, it's no good, and they may or may not have access to help you out. So it's better to get that universal certificate of eligibility, I call it, and you can take it anywhere you need to borrow the money from, unless you're independently wealthy and paying cash.
But the EBenefits site will let you look at vocational rehabilitation or education issues, GI Bill, things like that.
Yeah, let you look at all of that. And also, if you're traveling in Montana, which Montana's beautiful, by the way. I've been up there in
I was
Bozeman.
stationed there. That's probably
Oh,
why I
okay.
picked that out.
All right.
It is beautiful.
It is beautiful up there. But if you're going to be traveling, the eBenefit sites will also provide you with locations of other VA facilities where you can receive treatment across the United States.
It's an incredible effort to get folks the information that they want, that they're going to be calling Glenn's office about, right at their laptops, right at their fingertips, really. Now, again, we talked about the whole privacy issue, and especially with all the talk nationwide about this electronic health record, do you ever see the MyHealthevet being joined with some other type of effort, or is it always going to be separate? And
it looks like it's going to be a separate entity just because of the secure issues. The servers that are being designed to support this are independent. There's a standalone system, and anytime you go and mix something together, you're going to have some issues where you might have some confounding of information and some potential areas for leakage. So the intent right now is to maintain it as a standalone unit. It may interface with other things. It may provide different links to different areas, but as far as sharing the information through cross sites, no, that's not going to happen.
And we should mention that, though, that there are some really neat and powerful links with the eBenefits site. Obviously anything and everything about the VA, but also interesting stuff about the Department of Defense and the individual services. I mean, there's a wealth of information there. Even you can contact the White House, USA Jobs, Defense Link, Freedom of Information. I mean, there's some real powerful stuff here, some tools that you can use that's in an easily accessible format.
Yes.
You know, you can go to va.gov and get lost. It's like a sea. It's an ocean of information. Yes, absolutely everything that you would ever want to know is there, but now you have to try and find it.
But you got to find it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Needle in the haystack kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and WARMS for those folks that try and do this type of investigation to look up information is a wonderful system, but you have to have some knowledge as to how it operates in order to use it effectively.
Yeah, where would I go look is where you got to start. You know, going into WARMS, okay, that's fine. WARMS is where the VA keeps all their regulations and manuals about claims, and but you got to know what I'm looking for. What would the VA call this, so I know where to find out where to look for it.
So this is kind of the beginning of a marriage between the Department of Defense and the VA regarding handling issues and matters, both military and veteran related.
Yes. And the veterans that are going to be leaving the service within the next year or so, the electronic record is quote-unquote supposed to be able to be transferred from the active duty side of the house to the veteran side of the house. So whatever treatment you received while you were in the military will now be given to the VA, so the VA has direct access and can evaluate that information to see if indeed it does qualify for a service connection.